Hi, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Brooklyn here. I want to talk to you about nudity in general. Human nudity, as well as animal nudity. Uh, um, One thing that I don't understand is how can you call it nudity to humans when nobody really calls it nudity to animals? Because animals such as cats, dogs, rats, mice, snakes, um, any animal really, they don't wear clothes. They see each other and they're not ashamed of nudity. Like they don't see each other as their bodies as nudity. Why then do we human beings see our naked bodies as nudity, exposure? Now, it just strikes me. We are all made in God's image, whether you believe in Christianity or not, whether you believe in God or not. Everybody has their own belief system. Everyone has their own beliefs. I'm not going to judge anybody on that. I don't have a problem with that. My thing is, God made us all in His image, meaning we are God. Well, we're not God, but God is in us and we're in God. We are like God. God is like us. We are like God. We look like God. God looks like us. You know, we have the same stuff. And all us human beings have the same stuff. Everyone has breasts. Whether you're a man or woman, guess what? You have breasts. Men have breasts. Women have breasts. We have men and women have the same organs. The only thing that is a difference is the hormones. The hormones are the difference. The hormones, the characteristics of our genes, the characteristics of chromosomes are the difference. Okay? Those determine how our features are shaped. So, for example, if you have testosterone, your features, your organs will be shaped a little bit different, but they're still the same as the female reproductive system, as a female physical form, physical attributes. The only difference between a man and a woman is that a man doesn't have a womb, and a female does have a womb, a uterus, to produce children. Okay? That's the only difference. But everything else is the same. Chest is the same. Genitals are the same. No one really knows this. But if you really think about it and you really look at it this way, and disclaimer, I'm just going to let you know now before I continue. Please do not flag this video. I'm just explaining what you fail to think and fail to notice and fail to people need to rewire their brains and rethink about things. Okay. I'm gonna tell you this before I continue. This is not if this triggers any dysphoria, if any transgender people are watching and this triggers dysphoria, I apologize first. Don't continue to watch this if this may trigger dysphoria. I'm just being very honest and educating all of you about the human nature of things and the human reproductive system and the physical outward of the human body. Now, I may begin. When we are born, when we are conceived, before we are even developing in the mother's womb, organs and stuff like that, there is no mention of gender identity. There is no mention of gender or reproductive systems in the child that is in the fetus that is inside the mother's womb. There is no mention or nobody can detect any genitals that are developing, because when you're a fetus, you don't develop any genitals as yet, right? No, there is nothing happening yet because you're a small little tiny embryo, and then you turn into a fetus, and you grow and you grow and you grow, and the genetics and your genetic makeup and your chromosomes, all that coming together, will determine whether you're female or male. People put us in boxes, put human beings in boxes. They're binary boxes, male and female. Let me tell you something. Let me learn you something, people. Come on now. Think about it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, people. Yes, I've moved. When you are in your mother's womb, I mean, we're all human beings. So nobody questions or labels you cannot label a fetus. Well, let's start the embryo first. You cannot label a cell, a human cell. You cannot name, which turns into an embryo. You cannot name label an embryo, which turns into a fetus. You cannot label a fetus, which turns into a human living infant inside the womb. These 4 stages inside the mother's womb are what makes us who we are when we leave the mother's womb. Right? So, when you are a cell, a single cell that develops into multiple cells, that develops into a fetus, that develops into an embryo. That develops into embryo, that develops into fetus, that develops into a baby. Let's consider the characteristics of a cell. This cell has no form whatsoever. No genitals, no labels, no gender, nothing like that. Just characteristics and makeup of both the parent cells. So, I don't understand how people can label and force us into female and male boxes when we all know that from the beginning of life in your mother's womb, there was no such thing as female and male. Your chromosomes, to be quite honest, your chromosomes don't determine male and female. Not really, because nobody questions it. Nobody really. You can't question a chromosome. You can't label a cell. You can't label a chromosome, because that chromosome, that cell that develops and develops and develops into a human being, a fully developed human being, can be whatever it wants to be. I mean, you can't determine a single cell that develops into an embryo, that develops into a fetus, that develops into a child, that comes out of the womb, develops into a baby, develops into a child, develops. You can't determine that fetus, what that fetus will become. You can't. You cannot. You cannot. There's no way. There's no way. So there is no form to a chromosome. There's no form. There's no form. There's no physical form. There's nothing there. Nothing there. Not yet. Then the chromosome develops into an embryo. Then the embryo develops into a fetus. You know, we both know, we all know. If you don't know, then I'll tell you now. We all know that when a woman is pregnant, before the 2 weeks are up, the first trimester of the pregnancy, we all know that the doctor cannot tell you or determine whether you're a boy or a girl, what genitals you're going to have, because they can't detect the genitals, because the genitals are without form. Much. When you're a fetus and you're in the womb and you're before 2 weeks, you only have a bump there or a hole. You only have, your genitals below have a bump or a hole. Your chest is flat. I don't even think you develop nipples yet. Think about that. But yet, people put us in boxes. Us trans people, us intersex people, put everyone in boxes. Oh, you're female because you have breasts that are formed larger than a flat chested. You are female. Because your downstairs department has formed bigger skin, more elasticated skin around the hole, and your clitoris is a clitoris and it's small in size, you're female. Automatically, you're a female. What? Because you have a flat chest after birth, and down there is larger in size and in charge, you're a male. Come on, people. Come on. You cannot determine by genitals that you are a female or a male. What if that person identifies as something different? You're going to turn around and say it's not normal. Come on. Think about it. We are born without form, without gender, without genitals that are formed properly, that are formed at all. That is why the doctors cannot detect whether you're a boy or a girl before the 2 weeks in the first trimester of pregnancy, because they don't even know what you are yet. I mean, you could be intersex, born intersex. Intersex means now you are born with more than XY chromosomes or XX chromosomes, both chromosomes maybe. You could be born with XX and XY chromosomes. You can be born with XXXX XYXY chromosomes. You're still a human being. Every human being, whether what, doesn't matter what you identify, how you identify, your gender expression, your gender identity, your sexuality, everyone is born the same. Everyone bleeds and breathes the same air. Everyone has eyes, eyebrows, nose, cheeks, mouth, lips, teeth, tongue, lungs, liver, heart, ears, forehead, a head, shoulders, knees and toes, fingers, fingernails, chest, legs, feet, toes, bottom. Uno's still a human being. You're still a human being. So I don't understand the problem. I don't understand why people, like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. We're all human beings. We all should treat each other with respect. The same respect that you want to be treated with is the same respect that you should show me. Because neither of us were conceived in the womb with a form of gender. We were conceived in the womb without form. So I don't understand the problem anyone has with transgender people or intersex people. I don't understand how you can sit there and I don't understand how anyone can sit there and try and analyze a transgender person, try and analyze a non-binary person, try and analyze genderqueer people, try and analyze queer people, try and analyze gender fluid people, try and sit there and try and analyze intersex people. When you all know in your head, in the back of your mind, somewhere in the back of your mind, you all know we were all born without physical form. Well, physical form. We were all born without form. Without genitals, without this, without that. We were all born the same. So I don't understand how anyone can sit there. It's just beyond me. I'm sorry, it's just beyond me. It's just beyond me. I don't understand why anybody can sit there and be ashamed of somebody else that's naked. Now, I am not cussing anybody or cussing out anybody. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to call out any names because that's not what I'm like. I ain't calling out any names. Okay? But people of YouTube, Facebook, whatever. There is a person, now I'm not going to name any names. Do you know who you are? There is a person that, I've posted a picture of myself laying down with no top on. I've got bottoms on, by the way. No top on. Okay? But I've put filters over my nipples, over my breast. I've put filters over my chest. So that the nipple area and the boob area is not showing. I'm showing arms as I am now. I don't get the difference between me wearing a top, me wearing a vest and showing arms. Or me wearing a crop top and showing belly. With me laying there, no top on at all, and with putting filters on my chest. I don't get the difference. I don't get the difference. It's not too much if I'm sitting there, if I'm lying there with a vest on or not, with I'm transgender. I am a transgender YouTube blogger, educator on the human body and the transgender human condition. We're all human beings. If you show me your breasts and I don't feel any sexual connection to you at all, I'm just gonna sit there and just look at you and think nothing of it because it's breast. I have breasts, you have breasts. Whether I'm a man and identify as a man and my breasts and my chest is flat, it's still breasts.
Whether you're a cisgender male and your chest is flat, and I'm a cisgender female and my chest is bigger, we both have breasts. And nipples. Why should we be embarrassed or ashamed of each other's body parts when we all have the same blood clot shit? Sorry, excuse my language. When we all have the same body parts. I just don't understand that. I can't comprehend it. There are places out there that specialize in nudity. For example, nude beaches. There are beaches, public places out there that are called nude beaches. People walk around completely naked and are not ashamed. They don't know there's no sexual acts, no sexual feelings to one another. People are walking around. You are allowed legally. They have a legal binding contract with the government so that you are allowed to walk around naked. And nobody's ashamed or embarrassed of the next person being completely naked. But soon as someone posts a naked picture of themselves online, people scream and shout about it. But when people are going out in public on a nude beach, being fully naked, nobody says nothing. When an animal shows up, nobody says nothing. It shows up without clothes on. You're not going to look at an animal, or a dog, for example, or a cat, and say, "Oh, they're naked. That's disgusting. Oh, why are you being naked, dog, cat? Come on." Technically, animals are naked, but you don't say anything about that. You don't say anything about. Nobody says anything about a man walking around topless. But you have to say something and have a pussy fit about a woman or a transgender person, female to male, walking around topless with their chest hanging out. Come on, people, come on. Stop it now. Just stop it. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. It's a joke. Just stop. Beyond a joke, just stop. Who cares? If you are a transgender, male to female to male, and you're walking around with your top off, and you're pre-chest surgery, and there is another person who is cisgender female walking around with their top off, no bra, nothing, with their breasts hanging out, what's the difference? I don't see the difference. The only difference is your gender and your chest size. But why should we be ashamed? Why is it negative? Why does it have to be? Why do people have to say something negative about everything? I just don't get it. We are all human. Who cares? What's the difference? Because to me, there is no difference. Well, that is the end of this video today. Thank you for watching. This is Brooklyn, aka King B. This is Brooklyn. If you agree, like and subscribe. If you like this video helped you, like and subscribe below. If you don't like it, you can press unlike. You don't have to subscribe. If you have any queries or questions, Obviously, if you have any questions, try not to be so negative and insensitive when you are posting these questions. Post questions and queries, your concerns, whatever. I'm open down below in the comments. But for now, peace out.